Welcome back, people, to Palmer Writing Workbook. Now, today we move on to sentences. This is going to be quite hard, actually, thinking about it. It really is. Where do I, how many sheets, how many sides do I do in a session? I don't know. Either way, we're going to find out. I think this grayed out section, if I zoom in on that side of it and just zoom in a little bit, you can see that it's got like a grayed out section. So that's like one line and a bit, and it's like repeated. Now, do I then go 1, 2, 3 and then keep going, or do I go from here? Do you know what I mean? When I write it, either way, we've got to write over this to get an essence of it. So hopefully you can see this. So we're going to come up, we're going to come down, we're going to come around. We're going to go in, around, do this. Then this goes like an S to an E, to a V, into an E, into an R, into an A, over for an N, over for a C, and then an E. Not too bad. And then if you look at this, that's better. That feels better. And then the is one big continuous thing up here. We come up the shank, we form an E, then we put that in. Then we go over for a K into an E, over for a Y. And then we have an T and an O. That's pretty cool. The tough challenge is when I write it. Either way, look, this word success, it should have, in my view, an upstroke. So I'm going to put the upstroke in, people. So that there, into a U, into a C, into a C, into an E, to an S, to an S, and out. That should have an upstroke. Well, I believe it should. The A should have a stroke. So you got in, do you know what I mean? To a Y, then upstroke, to a K, to an I, to an L, and out. Now it's my turn. It looks kind of cool, but here we go, my turn. Yes, so here we go, people. Let's do this. We come up, we come down, we come back around, we put it in. That's not too bad. Then we have an E, to an R, to an S, to an E, over for a V, into an E, into an R, into an A, over for an N, over for C, and out. That's not bad, is it? Hey, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it. That's not too bad. Then we have the word is, so that's up, back, not too bad. Then the word the, so that goes all the way to the top. Then we have the H that it comes back on, and we do that. Then we have the word key, so that'll be, what am I doing? I'm doing this word here. I should be doing this one. Is the, key. So I'm doing, of course it is key. So it's up for the K, into an E, to a Y. And then we're going to fit 2, so key 2. Can you see this? So we're going to go up for the T, out for an O, 2, success. So I'm going to put this in, up, over for an C, over for a C, into an E, success, in, out, any, so that's over for an A, over for an N, over for a Y. Not bad. Then we want the word skills, so over for K, an I, an L, and out. Not bad. That's not bad, actually, is it? That's not a bad attempt. That's not a bad attempt. My attempt. Then, of course, full stop, of course. Then we do it again. Should we do it again, or should we try a different one? Should we do the grayed out section? This is quite an elaborate one, isn't it? Well, I'll do another one of them. Let's do this one. That'll be the E and over. Over for a V into an E. What's that? Every. So that's every. Into an R, isn't it? An R to a Y. Okay, that's fair dues. Then we got this funky P into an E, into an R, into an F, into an E, to a C, to a T. Very nice. And then we've got stroke. So into an S, to a T, to an R, to an O, into a K, into an E. Don't forget that. Fair dues. Then we have a P into an E, to a J, to an I, over for an N, over for an S. Begins, and then we've got with, so that's W, so little upstroke first built. Okay, what it says. I think it should have the upstrokes in it. Yeah. An F to an, is that an R? It's an R into an S, into a T, over for an A, T, T, E. Can you see? Into an M, into a P, out for a T. Very nice. Now let's have a crack. Now let's have a crack at this myself. Right, E starts up here, doesn't it? And it curves, so it goes in, curve, and out. Not too bad. Over for a V, into an E, into an R, over for a Y. Not too bad. Then we have a P, perfect. So it goes up for a P, down. It comes back around on itself, into an E, into an R, that then does the F move, into a C, into a T. Not too bad. Strokes, up for a T, up for an O, in for a K, out for an E. Stroke, yeah, it's not too bad. Every perfect stroke begins, so it's B, isn't it? B, so into a E, over for a G, I, N. Begins with, so begins with, over for an A, out, and then we want first, so that's F, I, well, that should have, what's happened here? I think that's about right, isn't it? Well, I'll do that, come off for a T. It's not too bad. I think from the R to the S is a bit iffy, isn't it? Oh well. So A to a T, double T, into an E, over for an M, out for a P, up for a T. Full stop. This is going to be tough. It's not too bad for that attempt, is it? So I'm going to keep on going like this. I don't know how many I'm going to actually be able to fit in this session. It might just be 2 sides, do you know what I mean? Because it's pretty in-depth, you know what I mean? So I'll see you guys. Normally I give you the results in the next one, but for this session and for these sentences, which is the majority of the book, I'm going to be showing the results in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, people, to the results of sentences. That this actually is an actual grind. When you get to, when you've done two lots of it, you could just about go 2 more. I did 6 lots, but Never mind. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see the sentence. I think I did an alright job with this. Perseverance is the key to success in any skill. That was alright to do. Quite nice. Very nice. But I did an alright kind of job. This is every perfect stroke begins with a first attempt. I think okay. I like the fact, and now I've done a few of these, I like the fact that you run your pen over this greyed area and get your hand and your muscle memory into forming the letter and the word first, and then you attempt it, you know, deadpan type of thing. But I think I did an alright kind of job there. And then I did a double page spread. So I just span out a little bit. I did this side and then that side. That was crazy, people. But as you go through it, you sort of get, okay, I'm not quite. This is the place where you can make mistakes and you can adjust as you go down and rewrite that sentence out again and again. You can readjust it. If you're still making the same mistake, give up trying. But don't, keep on trying. I say keep going through it. If you keep making mistakes, change it, do you know what I mean? But I think I did an alright job with these ones too, which is fantastic. That it looks neat, tidy, and it's Palmer. So, and it's almost the same. The same of it is basically Spencerian. So, and then the final two are these two. Never underestimate the power of a well-formed letter. I quite enjoyed doing that one. I did a fantastic job of that one. Really good. And then these ones, this one at the bottom, which is consistent practice leads to mastery over time, and it does, as this proves. And there it is, Palmer. So hopefully, people, you've enjoyed these ones I've done. In the next one, I intend to do basically for just one spread, because by the time you finish one spread of this, you're going to feel tired. You know, not tired, you won't go to sleep, but you know what I mean. I feel like a bit of a break. To try and do another 6 would be stupid. So I'm going to stick it to double spreads, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm going to be going to. So hopefully, people, you've enjoyed this. You can comment on what you've seen so far. Please do. If I've inspired you to pick up the book and have a go at yourselves, because the majority of the book is all now sentences, but I'm taking you along for my journey, and hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you do want this book, it's in the description. Click the more button and you'll see it in the description. Click it, go get it yourselves. I think it is worth the buy. But I would recommend also the Spencerian book before you do this one. That's all, because Spencerian came before Palmer. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.